So, hello guys, and welcome to this new video. Today I am here to present you, yeah, it's kind of vague I guess, you could say it's this, or a bit of theory about slimestone. Yeah, so background behind this is that I've been working on a slimestone project. It's pretty big. I think I will release a teaser or something about it in a couple of weeks, but yeah, it's quite a big project, and I've been working a lot with slimestone during the past week, basically every day. And I've been coming up with some stuff, designs like these, and also some insights, you could say. Because of that, I would like to take some time to basically go over that, because it took me several hours to do a lot of this stuff, if not days in some cases. So I thought it would be worth sharing to, yeah, make sure other people don't have to go through the same efforts. And this is wrong. Sticky that here. Yeah, okay, so today I need to present you, well, first of all, this vertical engine. It's bidirectional. Also, something I should probably mention is the, unlike stuff like Cubehamster's Gargantua, I am focused on bidirectional slimestone, which means that it can move in two directions. And for now, in this episode, in this video, I'm probably also in the one I'll be releasing next week. I think I'm gonna focus on vertical bidirectional slimestone specifically. I'm not gonna say there's gonna be some kind of generalized slimestone series for some kind of slimestone tutorial, but it will be a bit more general than just this is a contraption, this is how you build it. You'll need a bit of, well, I guess, knowledge or insight or whatever yourself to build stuff, because it's simply, this stuff is so customizable that if I could give you a single design which does something, but you would probably want to use it yourself for something else. So yeah, because of that, you will have to, well, also understand yourself for a bit how it works, and that's also something I would like to cover in these videos. Now, with that introduction out of the way, I think I'm going to go right ahead and show you this vertical engine. This is a bidirectional vertical engine, as already said. It's a very basic design, but for some reason this still took me, I think I spent like maybe an hour or something of messing around until I realized I could actually make it this compact. I thought I would have problems with the push limits otherwise. Also, I should probably mention that a lot of the designs I'll be showcasing here are based on RedstoneJazz's, well, wall eater, you could say. In that video, well, it's not really about the wall eater for me, but he did also show some things like a simple horizontal engine like this one, but then horizontally, as well as yeah, a expander, which I will also show later on this video, but vertically, but horizontally, and I will show the vertical one, because as I said, I'm more focused on vertical slimestone because of the nature of the projects I'm working on. But I just thought, although the project is kind of secret, I could share some of the steps in between. Now, if you've got some experience with slimestone, you probably know this kind of engine. If I do this and this, well, actually this won't do anything because I also need this, but okay, so here we've got an engine. This is just a simple upwards engine. The way these things are constructed is you have a sticky piston, which will be powered in one state. Then you have, when it extends, it will power a normal piston, which will then extend, which it will basically grab to get back to this position. Then that one will push it up again. And what's vital to this design is that you also have, up here you neither have a piston, which is also gonna push whenever he gets pushed upwards. So yeah, something vital about unidirectional slimestone, which I'm not going to mention because technically bidirectional, of course, has some stuff to do with unidirectional. So yeah, is that basically you can have a really long chains of stuff, but you have to make sure that yeah, you basically every time it gets pushed forwards, yeah, your pistons start pushing something forward basically. I haven't really looked into the Mega Gargantua, for example, but I'm pretty sure that it also uses this concept basically. For example, if you have something like this, then if you push this piston forward, then it will push this thing up, and this piston will be here. It will realize, oh, I'm being powered from here, and then we'll push this up, and then this thing will do the same. Oh, I'm being butt powered. Of course, something very important with vertical, also horizontal slimestone is quasi-connectivity. In case you don't know that, I'll quickly give a crash course on that. Basically, if you have a piston, it won't be powered by power over here. It will, however, be powered by basically on all of its sides, which aren't the sides it's pushing in. So on these sides, but however, it will also be powered, well, here, as you probably would expect, but also here because of, I guess, a bug in the code, but they left it in because it's being used very widely now in Redstone. But there are tons of other videos in which this effect is, mentioned, so I'm not going to go into that. But this is basically the basis of a lot of unidirectional technology, you could say. Also over here, they use another kind of engine, which is probably also quite useful, so I'll make sure to, showcase it as well. So let's quickly do this. This is what you could call a bus engine. It's every time you update the engine, basically, it will only move one block up. This is something you can use often when you're testing a design to make sure that it's actually mobile. You just attach one of these to the bottom, and you then do some kind of pressure point, and then you want to test if by pushing that single point is going to push the entire machine up. So this would be a simple design you could use for that. Now with that out of the way, we can explain how this vertical engine works, which is really simple actually. What we basically just have here is this, which is, as I already explained, actually just a vertical engine which goes upwards. So I already showed this earlier, so I guess actually there's something going on. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. So with that out of the way, this is just a plain vertical engine which will update itself using this piston and basically continue to go upward until it hits an unmovable block like obsidian. Now, the way this one works is really simple. We basically have a vertical engine, and let me just, as you can see, that's how it works. And let me quickly do this before it goes too far. Now, we are just going to expand this design by doing this. Okay, give me a second. Alright, I'm back. Family doing construction works around here. But I think it's over now and it should be good for the rest of the night. So, I'm pretty sure I was talking about basically our vertical engine. And it's really just composed out of a upwards engine and a downwards engine arranged like, well, this basically. Because if you do it like this, actually don't need this, but if we now do this and this, we will get something stupid because I am stupid. We need this. Actually, yeah, we already had the piston, I see. Okay. So, for the piston arrangement, it's pretty simple. So, like with a normal engine, you have the sticky piston. Like for the upwards engine, you need a sticky piston pointing downwards, a normal one on top of it, and then one over here, right? And for the downwards engine, it needs to be the other way around. So you have a sticky one like that, and a normal one like this, and a normal one here. So then basically, all of these are going to be regular ones, except for this one and this one. So yeah, that's just side note. And normally this should work now if I update it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, so that's working. Great. Probably by now you're thinking, well, why would you ever need this? Because when I was starting with slimestone, or bidirectional slimestone, better say, I was like, well, okay, if we want to move something, you place one upwards engine at the top, at the bottom, and a downwards engine at the top. And that way we can, just by removing this block or adding it again, we can control what engine we want. And that's fine and dandy, but it gets really hard to basically control more than one line of like pushers that way. And you can't do that much with one line. So that way we'd have to have, for every line you want, you would need another engine and another reverser to reverse that engine. So quite quickly you realize that it would be easier to have a central engine. Probably you're still thinking, well, but this thing is very nice, but you can't really put a high thing on top of it because it will only push in this direction. When it's going down, it won't pull it back or something, so it will just stay up there. Yes, so the way we can actually drag along larger structures than the engine itself with this kind of machine is using expanders, which will be the next subject. So I actually broke these. So yeah, let's just show before I continue. This is just our normal engine I just showed. It consists out of two, basically self-updating, you could say, engines, one up and one down. Because it updates itself every time it pushes, it goes up and down. Also, the reversing of this engine is not too hard. If you want to reverse at the bottom, you need to just move both blocks and first update the upper one and then the lower one. For the reversing at the top is the easiest. And for that you just put them back into position. First you need to put this one in position, and then this one. And that way you will also do the updates in the right order, and it will take off right away without any further updates. Now, with that, let's connect this, and let's show you that this can actually carry this large expander with it. It's pretty close to the block limit though, so this took me a bit of time to figure it out, but this thing should normally work. I tested it. So yeah, as you can see, it's actually carrying this entire thing. And basically every time I do this, you can see it's actually becoming bigger, so you can have a line which is basically really tall, like this. So it's kind of weird, but in slimestone you often power stuff from the sides, kinda. So that's the way stuff works. As I already said, this is also heavily based on RedstoneJazz's horizontal design, so you should check his out in case you're interested. He basically made an engine, and I'm not sure if he made the engine, but he was the one who made the expander for horizontal design. I just used the same theory, you could say, to make a vertical design, which also works. So yeah, that's that. Let me quickly show you how this expander basically works. So what's basically being carried by the engine is a piston up here, which is pointing downwards, and down here, which is pointing upwards. So a lot basically like this last one carries these, but with only 6 blocks of space between the two. Now, if you want to get an expander from the engine, it's very important you at least have these 6 places, because you will need to put at least 2 components, you could say, in between. Components are just objects, you could say, which move independently. So one group of blocks basically, which of course can't be higher than 12 at any point, or you can't push it. So you could try to do this with one component in the center, but the problem is that way you would have to basically connect both the low piston and the upper piston for the next one to the same component, and that way it's almost impossible to get that under the block limits, under the 12 block push limits, because then you would have like, let me build something here, like a component like right here, or maybe that's some block and a piston or something. I'm just doing something. In fact, you will need at least 5, I guess, for a normal component. So, or yeah, at least 4. And then you would have to have some blocks which go down, and then you would need a piston over here, and then you would need some blocks which go up, and another piston over here. So, as you can tell, this is far over the 12 block limit, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14. I think this is 16. Anyway, it's way over, as you can tell. So, yeah. You definitely need 2 different components to that. So once you can get to 6, you can get 2 components. You still need to make them small enough so you can expand at least 3 cumulatively, I guess. So because then you get space to add 1 extra component on the next layer. And if you can add 1 extra component every layer, then you can basically continue expanding indefinitely, which is what you would want. But over here, actually, this design works really well. It can expand 3 every time, as you can see. Piston moves 3 down every time, so actually there's space for 2 more components every time, which is really cool. So this one expands pretty quickly. How it works is, well, quite simple. You just have one over here. Piston, when it goes up, it will notice, oh, I'm being powered from here. Again, remember the quasi-connectivity, and it will push this up, and this piston will think the same. Oh, about from here, and push that up. The way to make it expand this quickly is largely based on that fact that every component here only carries one block, redstone block, except for this one, because yeah, I'm kind of just for the middle components it doesn't matter as much, because as you can tell, we don't really need these. We basically need to put some kind of filler material between here to make sure that the next, like you could say, arm or something also gets pushed. That's very important. So we need some kind of filler material which will push itself up when you push it at the bottom. Same thing for top, of course. However, whatever has been in here doesn't really matter. So it doesn't really matter. We used double redstone blocks here, and it was just easier for the design. So just do something, mess around. So you have to make sure that if this piston goes one up, it will be powered. If this goes one down, it needs to be powered. And you also need a piston facing up and down, which will power the rest. However, remember that when you reach the edges, when you like get to the arms of your layer, those actually don't need to be pushed, because remember, the arms are being handled by the previous layer. The arms cause the initial pushing in one direction or the other, and the filler material in between only needs to push itself. It does not. You don't need pistons down here or up here, so that saves a bit of space. Also, what saves space, as I said, is using one redstone block per component, which needs to both act as the power source basically for the piston coming from below, which is facing up, and the piston coming from the top, which is facing down. We're also doing that over here. That way we get a lot of blocks to expand with. However, this is not necessary to actually make an expander. As I already said, you only need to go 3 blocks out, so 1 on this side and 2 on this side would already be enough to add 1 extra component, and that way expand indefinitely. However, this is a quicker way to do it. Now I might be talking here for 10 minutes or something, so of course both of these designs will be, or I guess maybe I'll just put the schematic of this one in the description, because it also contains the engine. If you only want the engine, just create these connections and you basically have one like that. I'm just going to connect them again. And yeah, you will find the schematic in the description in case you're interested. Oh yeah, so one thing also I should mention, to stop the engine I just use a block, a removal block above or below the piston, which is at the top. You have a couple of options, but the piston works best in my opinion. However, of course, reversing is still being done manually right now. And next week I will release a video on a machine which is mobile in itself as well, and it will reverse this kind of engine at the top at least, and send it back down. And to also do a lot more stuff than that actually. It took me a long time to come up with it. 4 or 5 days I think I spent on it. It's quite a specific purpose, but I thought I would also share it because it took some time. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video though. I hope some people found this, well, I guess, interesting. If not, maybe I guess you can still use the design. As I said, there's not much of a tutorial to do this, just every time you build your components, make sure it's gonna be powered by the one below or the one from top when they get pushed in. And also make sure that the pistons on the component itself will be powered if they get pushed down or pushed up, like here, like this. And yeah, I guess I'll do one more demonstration to show that all in action, and then I'll leave. So as you can see right now, every time components are being pushed down, and yeah, every time this piston goes into here, it notices it's being powered and it pushes itself down. It pushes this segment down again. Yeah, I think that's going to be about it. As I already said, I'm going to cover a kind of mobile reverser. It will also be vertically bidirectional, so that should be pretty interesting, I guess. It's up there, I think. Oh no, it's actually up here. This thing. Yeah, not the other thing on the left. That's something else. So yeah, but with that being said, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, but even if you didn't, please leave a rating. And yeah, I hope I will see you in another video.